Between stimulus and response, there is a space. In that space is our power to choose our response. In our response lies our growth and our freedom. Viktor Frankl. A young monk was struggling with meditation in the monastery and searched for a peaceful, quiet place to practice his meditation. The monk looked around and found a nice place by the shore of a nearby lake. This is a beautiful location, he thought, so perfect and tranquil. He placed his mat on the ground, sat down, did several cleansing breaths, and started meditating. Soon a flock of noisy birds splashed down on the edge of the lake next to where he was meditating. Hearing their noise, the monk opened his eyes to see what was going on. He instantly became angry at the birds for disturbing his peace and interrupting his meditation. Although the bank of the lake was quieter than the monastery, it wasn't quiet enough. The next day, the monk didn't know what to do to find a proper meditation place. He decided to ask one of the older, wiser monks what other options were available. The wise monk told him about a boat tied to the end of the lake hidden in the brush. The young monk was grateful for this idea and rushed down to the lake to find the boat. He used the oars and rowed to the middle of the lake and meditated there. It was perfect, so quiet and peaceful, just what he was seeking. In the middle of the lake, there was nothing to disturb his peace or interrupt his meditation. On the third day, the young monk got up early and rowed the boat to the middle of the lake to begin meditating. Although it was foggy this early morning, there was nothing in the middle of the lake to disturb his peace, and he began meditating immediately. A few minutes later, he heard splashes of water and some commotion heading his way. The young monk started getting upset that even in the middle of the lake, there was someone or something that was disturbing his sacred peace. He opened his eyes to see what was going on. The monk saw a boat heading straight towards him through the fog. He shouted loudly, "Steer your boat away! Don't hit my boat!" Nonetheless, the other boat kept coming straight towards him and was about a dozen feet away. He yelled even more loudly, "Stop and move away, or else you will hit my boat!" There was no answer from the other boat, and it kept heading straight towards the monk's boat. The other boat crashed into the monk's boat with a loud thud. Now he was furious. He shouted loudly, "Who are you, and why have you hit my boat in the middle of this vast lake?" There was no answer. This made the young monk even angrier. He reverted back to his old ways and screamed in absolute anger. Frustrated at the idiot driving the other boat, he stood up to see who was in the other boat and why they were so rude and disrespectful. To his surprise, though, he found that there was no one in the boat. The boat was actually empty. The boat had probably drifted along in the breeze and had bumped into the monk's boat randomly. The monk found his anger dissipating. It was just an empty boat. There was no one to get angry at. He began to think, what makes us angry? Is it other people, situations, or circumstances? Or is it something else? It isn't the empty boat, but our reaction to it that causes us anger. All the people or situations that make us upset are just like the empty boat. They don't have the power to make us angry without our reaction to it. People who act unkindly towards us are driven by unconscious forces of their own dysfunction, wounds, and pain. Until we realize this, we remain hostages to others, allowing them to control us with a predictable cause and effect scenario. This keeps us from experiencing greater freedom, love, and joy that is always available to us. To take a step further, think of the other boat as always empty, even when there is someone steering it. There is never anyone to get angry with. Even if the person steering the other boat deliberately rammed into your boat, his behavior had nothing to do with you most of the time. Nobody can make you do anything. You get to choose your response. Knowing this helps you put a little space between the stimulus and your response. It's just an empty boat on a foggy lake. The only thing that can come out of you is what's inside you. Detachment is not that you should own nothing, but that nothing should own you. Please like, share, and subscribe to this channel. Thank you. Have a great week.